All right, so I went over to Guitar Center. I took all my guitars that I didn't need. I took 14 guitars over to Guitar Center and went through some gyrations with the sales dude over there. And he didn't want any of them, except he did buy the Dan Electro back. But he complained about it. He said I had modified it and that the tone and the volume were reversed. And I told him, nope, I bought it here and that's how it arrived. And I believe that is the counterintuitiveness, if you will, of the Dan Electro, that guitar. You know, that Dan Electro, that is a great guitar. I still think it's only a $200 or $300 guitar, but it's a $400. They charge $400 for it. But it plays nice and it's lightweight for older people or your younger people. You know, people who aren't in peak health, who don't really want to lug around a Les Paul or whatever, right? When they're standing and playing. It's fairly lightweight. Has a nice neck. I think the tuning pegs were fine. The tuners, those pickups are freaking great. Those two lipstick pickups in that guitar. The tone and the volume being backwards, maybe that was just my guitar. Maybe the guy was right, but he did buy it back from me after he complained and I told him what the situation was. I just thought that was the design, and it's kind of weird. It's counterintuitive because you got your tone in the middle and your volume on the outside. Anyway, he bought that back. That was when I picked up the Epiphone for $100. The Les Paul with the P90s. I think one thing that I failed to mention in my impressions video of that Epiphone, by the way, was that, and Adam Schweigert pointed it out, how he fixed the intonation issues by redoing the saddles. I think there may or may not be some intonation issues for sure on that. I just forgot to mention it. Actually, I started thinking about it after I made that impressions video. Okay, so I got that Epiphone. I still think that's a great guitar for $100. But moving right along, I had these 13 other guitars. And they were all Monoprice and Reville and all that. And Davison, right? And he looked at them and he just said, no, I can only give you, $10 a piece for these. And I said, yeah, let's do it, man. $10 each. Let's go, man. And he said, no, I'm not even doing that. So I ended up getting rid of those guitars in another way, mostly to Goodwill. I gave them to some people here and there. Now, do I miss any of those guitars? I can tell you which ones I miss. The red Monoprice S style Strat. That thing, just because the neck portion, the outer here, was just so smooth. It was incredible. Okay, so I missed one of the Monoprice Strats more than the other two, the white or the black one. I missed the Monoprice, the black T, the Tally. I missed the Monoprice T guitar, the black one. I think that I didn't say it in any of the reviews or anything, but the metallic blue one that arrived later, it didn't have the same properties. It was just not quite the same. That black one, though, was nice. Okay, so there's two guitars I missed. The Davisons, I said how great they were. One of my top-rated videos features a Davison. What is that? $16 shipping plus $55. That's $14. I think it's less than $15. I think it's $14.95 shipping and $54.95. So it's less than $70 for that guitar. And I heard, or I read of people paying $35 for that guitar. So that's like the lowest of the low price brand new guitars as far as I'm concerned. But I don't miss them. I liked them. they were kind of cool. I didn't find them that hard to play. I must have gotten a couple good ones or something. I thought they were pretty cool. Okay, so I don't really miss the Davisons. I had that red one. It was a Viper that I installed a single coil, which I could never determine whether it was a single coil. And some people are saying it is not. It's definitely not a single coil. So that modified Viper, I don't miss that. Now the Revilles, let's see. I miss that Telly. What was that one called? It was in sky blue, 199. The T199 or something like that. With the cutaway. That was sweet. And the Rev, the Strat. It's not as easy to play because it only has 21 frets, but that's more true to the original Strats, which kind of makes it have that classic vibe about it. And both those, the Reville T and the Revs S, like I was saying in those reviews, I don't know if you listened to those, but so maybe you don't know, but now you're going to know. Those guitars from Reville Rev, they have good sounding pickups. So there are the guitars. A T and an S from each of Monoprice and Reville. Out of the 14 guitars. And I miss the Dan Electro a little bit. Because that thing was actually pretty cool. But I have still, I've actually got an Ibanez on the way. It's a road car. It's RC330. It's gonna be tight, man. I'm so excited. I don't know where I get the money for any of this. I'm broke. You might think that I have all this money, but I am actually very poor. I'm rich in spirit. Okay, so I have this. This Stag is tight, man. I've got the two G&Ls. I still have the Archer. I still have two Revilles. I still have the what's the other one? The Axle. Okay. Anyway, I'm just going on and on here and not really getting to the point, which is I got the distinct impression that these off-brands, your Stags, your Archers, your Axles, your Monoprice, your Revilles, your Crestwoods, your Silvertones. I guess Silvertone has quite a history, if I'm not mistaken, but they're still selling $100 guitars today. And all of these guitars, as great as they might be, they have virtually no resale value because the world is very much, at least just judging from this little anecdotal encounter at Guitar Center, is very much more interested in name brands. Your Fender, your Squier, your Gibson, your Epiphone, and then the odd, right, Ibanez, Paul Reed Smith, Schecter, Music Man, Dan Electro, right? But they are definitely not interested in a Monoprice, for instance. Okay, so I paid, say I paid $75 for a Monoprice S model. What if they could pay me, what if Guitar Center could pay me $50 for it and then sell it? No, that wouldn't work. What if the Guitar Center could pay me $25 for it and sell it for $50? I mean, you'd think that guitar is good enough to sell somebody for $50. It's a great guitar. As a matter of fact, it might be better than a Squier. But Guitar Center, either there's no demand in Guitar Center, I haven't quite figured this out, so it might not be the world. These just might be the best kept secrets, these off-brands. They might be the best kept secrets in the guitar lexicon. Maybe Guitar Center doesn't want to sell these guitars because there's no margin compared to the margins they get with those big name brands. Maybe Guitar Center has good margins on the more well-known brands. And so, for instance, buying a Monoprice from me for $25 and selling it for $50 is just not even worth it for them. I know that's pretty, we're not talking about a lot of money there, are we? They definitely didn't want to hassle with it, though. My point is that, see, I just need to start traveling light. I don't have room to lug all these guitars around in my life. Wherever it is I might be going next, I don't know. But if somebody they were more settled than me, and they had a place that they were, going to be staying for the foreseeable future, they had a place in society, a good career and all that. Well, take all that away and just, if anybody could buy these guitars brand new today and hold on to them for 30 years, I swear to God, these guitars are going to be collector's items. These Revilles and these Monoprices and stuff, they're going to have a good resale value in 30 or 40 years. They're going to be classics. That just might be my opinion. But I thought that much of these guitars that they are going to appreciate if a person could just hang on to them. Like I said, I'm not in a situation where I can really hang on to a lot of guitars. So I had kind of overbought just for the sake of my YouTube channel. And it's fun to test new gear. But it's, using my method, it's pretty expensive, especially when you have zero budget to begin with. Anyway, I just wanted to say it seems like off-brands don't have any resale value today. Guitar Center wants nothing to do with them. I might have hit a bad Guitar Center, I don't know. But I think it makes sense that people would gravitate towards your Fenders and your Gibsons, your Squiers and your Epiphones. I mean, those are the big names, the trusted names. Yada, 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 right? But man, those of us who know, we found a lot of good deals with these other makers, these other manufacturers.